All right, everybody, buckle up because we're diving into something a little different today. Yeah. We're leaving the usual articles and reports behind and stepping straight into a museum.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
But not the kind you're picturing, with dusty artifacts and velvet ropes. This one's called the Great Museum of the Potter's House.
The Potter's House. What's that all about?
Well, it's all about exploring faith, specifically in Jesus, and how it can transform lives. They've used this whole museum idea as a metaphor, to make it come alive.
A museum as a metaphor for faith. That's actually pretty clever when you think about it. I mean, museums are usually about the past, right? Showcasing history, objects, art, all frozen in time.
Exactly. But this one flips the script. It's
Like-
about capturing something that's very much alive, something that's happening right now in people's lives.
So instead of looking at old artifacts, we're looking
With
at...
stories, real
Yeah.
people sharing their experiences with faith, their struggles, their transformations.
So it's like a collection of living testimonies then.
Yeah, exactly. Testimonies. The creator actually uses that word. And you know what really struck me?
What's that?
The person behind this project, they spent 10 years gathering these stories.
Wow. 10 years. That's dedication.
Right. It makes you wonder, what did they see in those individual experiences? What felt so important to share with the world?
Yeah, it really makes you think about the power of individual stories, doesn't it? I mean, there's just something so powerful about hearing someone's personal journey, their struggles, their triumphs. It feels more real, more relatable than just reading about faith in a textbook,
100%. And it speaks to this universal human experience of transformation, wouldn't you say? We're not static beings. We're always changing, evolving. And this museum becomes like a testament to that, a collection of proof that change is possible.
Absolutely. And speaking of transformation, this museum takes a really interesting turn with its central metaphor. They compare faith in Jesus to a potter molding clay.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What'd you make of that metaphor? Well, on the surface, it might seem kind of simple. But when you really dig into it, I think it's brilliant. Because it gets at this idea of surrender, right?
Yeah.
We have to surrender to something bigger than ourselves and allow ourselves to be shaped by it.
So we become the clay.
And whatever higher power we believe in this case, Jesus becomes the potter, the active force that's molding and shaping us.
Yeah.
And that process, that's where the transformation happens.
I like that. It's a good reminder that sometimes we need to let go of control, maybe true growth happens when we surrender to something bigger than ourselves, whether it's faith, love, art, whatever.
Absolutely. But it doesn't end there. The museum takes it a step further. They compare the church to a wheel in this whole process of transformation.
The church is a wheel. How does that fit in?
Well, a wheel is all about movement, right? Continuous motion, refinement. It suggests that this process of transformation, it's not about reaching some static state of perfection, but about constantly being shaped and molded by our experiences, especially within a community. Makes you think about how our communities, whether it's our church, families, even friend groups, they can become these powerful spaces of growth and change if we let them.
It all ties back to that idea of surrendering to something bigger than ourselves, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So we've got personal stories, these powerful metaphors of the potter and the wheel. We're getting a unique glimpse into how some people view their journey of faith. It's definitely not your average museum experience.
You got that right. And, it really makes you think, what would your own piece in this museum look like? I mean, what experiences have shaped you and where are you still open to being molded? That's something we can all ponder.
That's a great point to end on. All right, everybody,